My name's Aaron, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I'm viewing Laurent Perfume Intense. This is £62 for 60ml and £82 for 100ml. Powerful and sophisticated, ambery woody fragrance bursting with character, feeling sensual and vibrant leather accords. This fragrance is infused with precious orange blossom facet. I don't understand that. Orange blossom facet, reinforced by profound, supple cedarwoods. The notes are lemon, black pepper, bergamot, orange blossom, antisma, violet leaf, ambergris, woody notes, benzoin, leather, suede, and cedar. Do we have our bottles of Laurent Intense? Are we engaged with a higher self? Let's get testing. So the colour is colorant, which is absolutely fine, completely safe and legal. And it makes me think that this fragrance is trying to be boozy. Kind of the interpretation which I'm going to take from it, that sort of boozy feel to it. Box is awesome, really would expect nothing less. I really hope you're looking at boxes and seeing whether they're safe, legal and compliant. I really hope you do. I hope I'm helping to educate you out there to spend your money wisely. I think this is fantastic and it smells really classic Yves Saint Laurent, modern Yves Saint Laurent. And one of the first fragrances I bought was Kuros in the 80s. And that was so I do love Yves Saint Laurent actually. It does sort of, in my mind, sort of smell boozy. It sort of smells woody and rum accords are brilliant to put together and I particularly love doing that at the moment. This I think is really good. Very masculine, very dry, sweet. So this is just really, really well crafted. Excellent French perfumery. First off, you're getting the ambery woody feel of the Ice Super, and then it's based upon vanillin, coumarin, and benzyl salicylate. And benzyl salicylate is benzyl salicylate is a bridging molecule, and it helps to connect top notes through to the base and smooth it out, and it smells fresh and floral. And in men's fragrances, the major raw materials and these salicylate raw materials are incredibly important, and these are notes that you wouldn't really notice, but you would notice if they're not in there. Clean white musks to help give this a clean feel. And really, when you're developing a man's fragrance, that's really what you want. You want a really good balance of ambery, woody raw materials, slight major raw materials to make it so clean and fresh, sort of like musk accord, and then some naturals. This is quite apparent in of the major raw materials, and they smell of clean linen actually, and slight floralness. So this I think has just been built to be mass appealing and super interesting. I kind of love lemon in a formulation. The more I work with lemon, the more I love it because it's just so versatile and can go with everything. The top notes are just brilliantly well done with this, and you're getting the sort of the slight fruit facet, the slight woody facet, and then the citruses just helping to give elevation. This is dense and heavy and radiates off the skin, and this, for the price, I actually think is really awesome. So as you're probably noticing, there's quite a lot of thoughts going through my head, and I'm trying to structure my thoughts. And kind of I think this is really probably one of the first cheaper formulations. I think kind of is pretty perfect, to be honest with you. Elmley is really apparent in this, and the Elmley gives that sort of nettle feel and smells youthful and effervescent. But this is a super strong oriental, and kind of, if you like your fragrances light, blue, ozonic, you're really not going to like this. But for the money, I think this is kind of awesome. There is a roundness, a smoothness to this formulation, elongated against Ice Super aroma chemicals, helping to give lift and elevation to what potentially could be a dense formulation. I kind of imagine this sort of formulation had masses of road testing to this, and I kind of think this sort of formulation they would have worked on for a long time before they would have released it. I think this would have been massive testing, redevelopment, going back in. They knew exactly what they wanted with this. As this is drying down, you're getting a real smooth finish, and that is from a major raw material. And the major raw material is really high up, and it smells sweet and clean It's so apparent in this. And the thing is with major raw materials is they can be incredibly heavy and dense. So working with these things, the Perfumer would have really worked very hard at this, and this has a lot of mathematical precision, which is why I particularly like it. On to my final thoughts. I think this is fantastic, and I'm going to mark it as a £62 fragrance, so it's going to be slightly different. So first off, this is Safe Legal compliant. From a massive house, you would expect that. Next to marks are longevity, projection. This is monstrous and just lasts on the skin, which is going to be a problem if you don't like heavy orientals, but going to be fantastic if you do really like it. Next to marks the price. This is so worth the price. I think this is excellent perfumery. And the last 4 marks, whether I like it or not. This is kind of when I'm getting nitpicking, which is the most weirdest thing, nitpicking. Weird word, fine-tuning, that sort of thing. I think it's an awesome formulation. I think it's clean, fresh, sweet, woody, elevating, long-lasting projection. And you might be saying, well, what seems to be the problem? Because I'm sure you can see there's a little bit of a problem here. I kind of don't like the major raw materials that high, because you're getting that sweet, plasticky sort of feel with it. But I kind of love the way that you have sweetness juxtaposed against tartness, bitterness, woodiness. And I kind of think it's super, on a technical level, really cool. So I'm going to mark this a 9 out of 10. And the 1 mark coming off is purely because I don't like some of the raw materials up that high, but I kind of think it's really awesome. I marked 9.5 out of 10. My final marks are going to be 9.5 out of 10 because I think it's awesome. I think the price is tipping me up really high. £62 for 60ml. This is when the big houses do it really well. So this is when the big houses, they're buying in raw materials in ton sizes, and they can produce stuff industrially for pennies and produce stuff. So it's kind of like what it is. I kind of really love it. So how I'm going to describe this is, if you love heavy orientals, if you love things that undoubtedly smell masculine, that are sweet and smooth, juxtaposed against sort of punch and woodiness, then this is really going to be for you. If you really love clean, fresh blue ozonic, you absolutely will not like this at all. And that's kind of, so this sits on its own, and I think it is absolutely awesome actually. It doesn't really come off the skin, and it gives you long lasting projection, and I think it's awesome actually. Kind of amazing for what it is. I kind of wouldn't improve upon it, to be honest with you, because it is what it is, and I think if you start moving stuff around it would lose its character. So I wouldn't improve upon it at all actually. I think it's awesome as it is, but personally speaking, the half mark that's coming off is purely because I don't like some of the raw materials up that high. But I think I can thoroughly recommend this actually. I think it's awesome. So I hope you love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content, lots of moving hands, and lots of fragrance reviews. I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you soon.